Hey everyone, it's Fernanda, and today I need to open my heart to you. I want to share something that might be hard to hear, but I think it's important to tell the whole story. My journey involves love, loneliness, bad choices, and regret. Maybe, by the end, this will serve as a lesson for both me and for you. Ricardo and I got married when we were young, full of dreams and plans for the future. We faced tough times, but we always stuck together, supporting each other. He was my partner, my best friend, and for many years, passion kept our flame alive. But as you might imagine, life isn't a fairy tale, and time does its dark magic. The routine, the weight of responsibilities, and emotional exhaustion began to drain our relationship. Ricardo was a hardworking man, very dedicated to his career. The demands of his job as an executive at a big company started to consume our days and nights. He came home exhausted, and even when he was physically present, his mind seemed miles away. I found myself alone in a marriage where love still existed, but it had lost its power. The silence at the dinner table, the cold goodnight kisses, everything felt hollow. And that emptiness started to grow inside me. I tried to fill it with distractions, books, long walks, yoga classes, but none of it replaced the emotional presence I longed for. It was during one of these lonely days that I met Guilherme, our neighbor. He was always friendly and helpful, the type of person you think could never harm you. Guilherme was a widower, spending a lot of time tending to his garden. Our conversations began innocently enough. "Hey Fernanda, do you need help with those bags?" Or "Beautiful day, don't you think?" He had a way of bringing a lightness into my life that I hadn't felt in a long time. Even the smell of his garden, rosemary and fresh-cut grass, felt like comfort. As the months went by, I found myself eagerly anticipating those brief, casual encounters. What started as an innocent friendship soon grew into something deeper, even though I didn't realize it at first. One day, while Ricardo was away on another business trip, Guilherme and I were chatting on the porch. The sun was setting, casting golden light on everything. He looked at me in a way that made my heart race. "Fernanda, you're incredible," he said. "You deserve to be happy." I laughed, a little embarrassed. "Guilherme, you're crazy. I'm a married woman," I replied, trying to brush it off. But he didn't smile. He just stood there, looking at me with an intensity that left me speechless. If you're following along, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications, like, and share. Stories like this are intense and sometimes painful, but they teach us valuable lessons. What happened next was a whirlwind of emotions. I won't go into explicit details, but I can tell you that the boundaries I thought I'd never cross were shattered that afternoon. The feeling was a mix of adrenaline and fear, pleasure and shame. Every time I was with Guilherme, the world seemed to stop, but at the same time, guilt consumed me. The rustling of the trees, the warmth of his hands, everything became part of a memory I couldn't erase. Ricardo never suspected a thing, and I began to become an excellent actress. Pretending everything was fine became part of my routine. I cooked, I smiled, I asked about his day, all while hiding the storm inside me. But I was torn, living two lives, one as the loyal, devoted wife, the other as the woman lost in another man's arms. My mind was a battleground, and my heart didn't know where it belonged. What hurt the most was that I never stopped loving Ricardo. I know that sounds impossible, maybe even wrong, but love isn't always enough. Presence, connection, time, those were the things I was starving for. And Guilherme offered them, wrapped in attention and gentleness. But the truth has a cruel way of coming to light, and one day, it did. Ricardo came home unexpectedly, without warning. I was in the garden, pruning some flowers, and before I could hide anything, he saw Guilherme walking away. The look on Ricardo's face was pure horror. His hands trembled. His eyes darted from Guilherme to me. He didn't need any explanations, but I desperately tried to justify myself. "Ricardo, I can explain, please just listen," I pleaded, tears in my eyes. He looked at me, his voice trembling with anger and hurt. "Fernanda, how could you? After everything we've been through together?" My heart shattered hearing those words. I had never seen him so vulnerable, so destroyed. "Why, Fernanda? I worked so hard, dedicated myself so much, all to give us a good life, and this is how you repay me." He punched the wall, something he had never done before, and I felt fear take over me. Ricardo had always been a peaceful man, but in that moment, he was unrecognizable. I wanted to scream, to explain that it wasn't about him, that I felt invisible and abandoned, but how do you justify the unjustifiable? I knew I was guilty. The weight of my wrong choices was mine to bear, and all I could do was cry. That night, Ricardo didn't sleep at home. I stayed up alone, staring at the ceiling, replaying every decision that had led me there. The silence in the house was deafening. I walked past our wedding photo and felt the tears come again. The photo once represented hope, unity, and love. Now it was a reminder of everything I had risked and possibly lost. The days that followed were filled with silence. Ricardo moved into the guest room and barely looked me in the eyes. We functioned like strangers under the same roof. And even Guilherme, he stopped showing up. Maybe out of guilt, maybe out of fear. I didn't know, and to be honest, I didn't have the courage to ask. I started going to therapy. I needed to understand why I let things get so far. I wanted to believe I was a good person who made a terrible mistake, but some days, I wasn't sure. The counselor helped me see that guilt and accountability are not the same. I had to take responsibility, but I also had to forgive myself. If you've made it this far, please share this story. Leave your comment on what you would do if you were in Ricardo's place, or even mine. I'd love to hear your thoughts and stories. Sometimes, the only way we grow is by facing the truth, no matter how painful it is. And if you believe in second chances, in learning through pain, and in the power of honesty, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There are many stories like mine out there, and maybe yours is one of them. Let's talk about it. Let's heal together.